friends. Hello, hi, how are you? I hope you guys are having an amazing day today. Hello. Hi. So today's candle of the day is Cherry Frost from Bath & Body Works. We are going to be moving in the next few months, and I realized that I have so many freaking Christmas candles that I need to burn through. So the next few candle of the days, probably for the foreseeable future, are all going to be Christmas themed. So it's basically like Christmas in May. Congratulations. Hi. So today's video, I'm actually so excited about this one. I got the idea from TikTok, and I'll link the TikToks I saw down below. I'm pretty sure it's just a trend in general on TikTok, but I follow a lot of people who talk about like designer items on TikTok. And this one girl I saw, and her idea was a designer handbags I would recommend to my worst enemy. And I was like, that is such a good idea. I just thought it was so funny, like the concept and the premise of stuff you would recommend to your worst enemy. And I loved the reasoning because it's not always like, oh, it's like the worst product ever. Like I feel like there's very obvious things, like it's like that you would recommend. However, I tried to pick stuff that I was like, I would recommend to be a little petty, to be a little bit shady. Stuff I would recommend to like the girl in high school who was always mean to me, who DM'd me asking for makeup advice. Like this is what I would tell her, you know? I actually don't really have any particular people in my brain that I'm thinking of when I talk about this. I'm trying to think of like somebody. Oh, found her. Okay, I know the girl. So okay, if this girl messaged me asking for makeup advice, this is what I would recommend to her, being a little bit shady and a little bit petty. So I'm very excited for this one. Very first thing I kind of went through and picked out something for each sort of step in makeup. So I think we're just gonna go through via a routine, right? So for primer, I would recommend the Too Faced Hangover RX primer. This is the jumbo size of this, and I bought this at TJ Maxx of all places because they always have all of those sales. And really I just bought this because I was like, it was forever ago that I bought this, but I was like, oh my god, like, you know, it's such a good deal for how much product you're getting. And I had heard such good things about this primer when I was first starting out on makeup. A lot of people used to rave about this. This is basically just an overpriced moisturizer. It doesn't do anything other than smell nice and sort of hydrate the skin. It also does give you that sort of like, and normally I like primers that kind of like seep into the skin a little bit and sort of like absorb. This definitely leaves that sort of weird film on your face where it doesn't fully sink in, at least at first. So I think for a beginner, they would apply this and then put on the foundation too soon, and then it would be a little messy. So
my plan is working.
No, I just think that overall, the reason I would recommend this to somebody I hate is not because it's the worst primer I've ever tried, but more so because I think it's a gigantic waste of money for what this actually is, when you could go buy like a moisturizer for $5 and just use that and have quite literally the exact same effect. Like this does nothing except slightly moisturize your face and leave a sort of film on your, yeah, it's not even like a sticky base. The other thing about this is that it is deceptively big for what it actually is because of the packaging. And Too Faced does this packaging a lot where they have this like sort of tube and then the pump is at the end of the tube. You end up, for whatever reason, going through it really, really quickly. Like I know they actually have a foundation that I used to love that was their Peaches and Cream foundation, and this had the same packaging, and I had the same problem where you do like 2 pumps and the tube has just like deflated. There's so much air, I think, in the tube that makes it look so full, when in reality I don't think it's actually as full as they claim it to be. So that is the other reason I would recommend this to somebody that I hated. Next. Jaclyn Hill made me buy this. So that should tell you everything. But here, Jaclyn Hill, to her credit, her makeup does genuinely, at least on camera and in pictures, look legitimately flawless. Like her makeup always looks really good. And one thing I always really loved about Jaclyn Hill, the reason I was like kind of a fan of hers for a while, was because she was so knowledgeable about makeup. And it just seemed like she really knew like what she was talking. I think she did. She genuinely knew what she was talking about. And she was also a fantastic teacher of makeup. When she was raving about the Dior Forever Dior Skin foundation, this one, when she was raving about that, I saved I explicitly like needed this foundation even though it was $50 because Jaclyn Hill said it was like the best, most beautiful, perfect skin, like amazing foundation she had ever tried. It was like her go-to base routine. And I'm not gonna say that she lied. I'm just gonna say that I think it's absolutely grotesquely overpriced and really doesn't make your skin look that good. I've used up almost all of this at this point just because it was so expensive. I wanted to get my use out of it. But at the same time, like this really was not that great. It makes your skin look like okay, but it's definitely got that very cakey. If you have any texture, it clings to that texture and sort of settles into those fine lines. Like the wear time is not fantastic on this. And I find that you have to actually use a lot to get it to sort of build up and like look good. So I think this paired with this would be a disaster because this does nothing for texture. And this doesn't make your skin look very good if you have any texture. I think the thing about beauty gurus that I'm realizing, and I'm not saying this to be shady, like I'm really not trying to be shady, but I think the thing about a lot of beauty gurus is that I think that obviously foundations like this one, where like if I had perfectly clear, amazing skin, this probably would look very good on me. But a lot of beauty gurus get like fillers and they get Botox and they make their skin, they sort of remove all of that texture. So of course on Jaclyn, and again, no shade, like go off, but like of course on her, this looks amazing because her skin is already sort of perfect. Whereas for someone like me, I'm not really there. And like normal skin types that have texture and crinkles and everything about them, I don't think this really works as well. And so that is why I would definitely recommend it to my worst, because I don't think it would look very good. It wouldn't look horrible. Like they wouldn't doubt my recommendation maybe, but definitely wouldn't look very good. So I feel so evil in this video. My master plan. Oh, I guess I didn't pick a concealer. I really like all my concealers right now. I decluttered my makeup kind of recently and I really just am at a good place with concealer. However, powder I definitely have. And that is the Makeup Revolution. Oh, it's literally just falling out. That's the first thing. I don't know if you can see the back end. This is the part that flips up. Okay, I just got a whiff of powder. I don't know if you can see this back end here. This is the sort of back component where it like flips up. For whatever reason, you see that cloud of poof, it is not secure. So number one, this would make a mess, which is perfect for somebody I hate. And number two, it's bad. It's really bad. I bought this because I bought it a while ago and it was because I was in Ulta and Makeup Revolution had this deal where if you bought one thing, you got the other for like half off, I think was the deal, or some deal like that. And I was there and I was getting my Makeup Revolution foundation stick, which I love that foundation stick. It's amazing. And I was there and a girl was next to me and she was also looking at stuff and I was talking to Charles about how I needed to find a second thing because I wanted to get it for half off, and she recommended this. She was like, I love it, it's amazing. And for me, it's an absolute cakey disaster that emphasizes my crinkles and dries out every crevice that I put it into. I think also the color of it is just, it definitely gives that sort of white cast, which frankly, I don't really care day to day if I have a white cast because it really only impacts you if you're taking flash photography of yourself. Like if you're going out with a night with your friends, you don't want the white cast. But if you're running to like Starbucks, I don't care if I have a little bit of a white cast. This though provides like a new level of white cast. Like my under eyes look like Casper the Ghost and it's really, really troubling. So this product, I would definitely say go off, go spend that. I think it was cheap too. It was like $7, which is nice. There are other powders that you can buy for cheaper, like the Maybelline Fit Me comes to mind. That would be like an amazing drugstore recommendation. This, not so much. Okay, next I have bronzer. And this bronzer, I was so disappointed, like so disappointed because, okay, I had this idea and I still might do the video. I bought all this stuff for it, but then I felt weird about it because I don't know, let me know if you would want to see this, but I had an idea of trying out like really bougie makeup in comparison with drugstore makeup and just kind of like what the differences would be, where maybe you should splurge, where maybe you shouldn't. I did a video like that a while ago, but I feel like drugstores have just upped their game so much that it's so dupable now. So let me know if you'd want a video like that, but I bought this bronzer I have powder literally all over me. No, okay. It is from a brand called Westman Atelier. How do you say this? Let me Google it, hold on. Atelier. This guy just told me it means workshop, so it means Westman Workshop Atelier. Did I say that right? I'm trying to learn French right now. It's not going well. But anyway, it's this bronzer from this very expensive brand. I think this bronzer was like literally $75. And the reason I was interested was because it was on Sephora and I was like, I've never heard of this brand. So I bought a highlighter, wouldn't recommend the highlighter either, and this bronzer. And this bronzer, okay, first of all, I will say packaging is very cute. It's like very heavy. It's basically a weapon. Maybe I shouldn't recommend this, because they could use it. If you threw this at my face, it would definitely do some damage. I'm gonna recommend it anyway. It's basically this very heavy bronzer. And the thing about okay, first of all, the packaging is hard to open because there's no sort of, like lip you would, you know, organically try to open it from. Okay, there we go. This is the bronzer. First of all, I hate the pan size. That's number one reason I would recommend it, frankly, is the pan size. Because the pan size being so small, where's my bronzer brush? These are blink brushes, by the way. I have a code with them. I'll leave it down in the description if you want to buy blinked brushes. But okay, this is my bronzer brush. So if I were to dip this in, do you see how the brush doesn't, I'm covering it so you can't see it. Do you see how the brush doesn't fully fit in with everything? How you're trying to like get stuff out and you're making a mess and you're getting bronzer everywhere. So it's too small for your brush, first of all. Second of all, it's bad. It's very chalky. I find that it doesn't blend nicely into the skin. The way that I like bronzer is to be very sort of skin-like. Like I like that there's no real harsh lines. Not getting harsh lines with this bronzer I found to be very difficult. I found the blendability to be really weird. Just like not the biggest fan of this one. And honestly, I think for the price point, it's an absolute, I don't like saying the word scam. Some people get mad at me because they're like, oh, well, you paid for, it's kind of a scam though. Like $75 for a bronzer, it should be literally made of gold. Like maybe the packaging is, the bronzer should be made of gold for $75 for a bronzer. So this is one I would say, yeah, it's worth the price.
It's not worth the price.
I don't know. This is definitely just a little tiny nugget of gold that is an absolute waste of money. Blush. Okay, for blush, I chose the Jouer Cream Blush Duo. Now, I was just in general very disappointed with this product, and the biggest reason for that is I think because, well, one of the big reasons I was disappointed personally with this product was just because I have the blush palette from Jouer. I don't think they make it anymore, but I have this blush palette from Jouer that I have had for years, and I love this blush palette. Like it's so, this is still my go-to thing that I grab when I'm traveling just because it has every shade you could need. They perform beautifully. Like I really love this blush palette. So I was really disappointed when they came out with the cream formula and it was just so bad. It's just so, you can see I've like tried to sort of dig into it. It just doesn't have any real pigment and it blends into nothing. It's a similar problem I actually had, I talked about in a video this week, the Merit blushes. I think that was like makeup I don't use. I talked about the same thing. It's a very similar problem where it just blends into nothing. And it's so disappointing because you look at the colors and like it's this beautiful sort of neutral mauve and then you have this really nice sort of rosy pink that in theory it seemed like they should be amazing, and I think they would be amazing if I could get them on my face, but you just can't. And even when you try to dab it on, like I would take this and I would really try to like dab it on and get it in, when you blend it out it just turns so sheer and faint that it's basically invisible. I think this is something that would be appealing to my enemy. It's why it was appealing to me, was because it was like 2 shades. It was a cream blush, which is super trendy right now, but it sucks. I feel like I'm always jarred when I hear the train. The train is so far away from me. I don't think people, I said in my last video I didn't know I had a train near my house. It really is so far away and we've only recently been able to start hearing it. So anyway, bad blush, blends into nothing, very hard to actually get to show up, which kind of sucks because I'm the type of person, this is something I might try to see if any of my friends would want or something, because I really, just sitting there right now and I haven't used it. I've used it enough that I can't donate it, but I haven't used it enough that it's like not good anymore. Okay, I have 2 highlighters. The first, I wish I could do like a cool edit where it like explodes or something. This is the first, and this is the Patrick Ta spray. It literally just, it exploded. Oh God. It's like it highlighted my teeth. This is the highlighter spray. I think a lot of people thought when this first came out that you were just going to be able to sort of like spray it onto your cheeks and get this get this highlighted glow on your cheeks. However, it's not how you're supposed to use it. I thought that was how you're supposed to use it too, because I saw other beauty gurus using it that way. How you're supposed to use it is you're supposed to like spray it onto a brush and then apply it with the brush, to which I would say that's just kind of a silly little gimmick because that's literally how I apply all of my other highlighters. It kind of reminded me of the Dior Air Flash, that spray foundation, where like you still were supposed to just spray it onto your brush. So it was like the same premise as just like using a foundation. Anyway, I just think the spray idea in makeup is kind of silly. Nobody's perfected it to the point yet where I think it would actually be worth it to pay extra for this like little spray bottle. And the problem with this is, again, kind of similar to the blush, it just doesn't show up. It doesn't show up. It doesn't do what it's supposed to do. You spray it onto the brush and then you apply the brush and there's just nothing. I don't know if, I guess I don't know if there's any other spray highlighters. I haven't really heard of any other than this one. So I don't know if other people have maybe mastered a formula that Patrick Ta was not able to do, but I was very disappointed in this product. But enemy might think this is cool because it's like trendy, it's like millennial pink, it's very aesthetically cute. It's basically all the reasons. I'm basically my enemy. All the reasons I fell for this product is why I would think an enemy would as well. It's cute, it's trendy, the idea is super innovative and like fun and dope, and then in reality it just like does not do anything. Right now you spray it directly on and it gives you this like glitter effect. I think the glitter might be the problem. I think because it has such a strong glitter base instead of like a normal highlighter has a very strong glow base, I think that glitter doesn't transfer to a brush well, so when you go to put it on it's hard to build up any sort of anything, and when you spray it on directly, again, still it's just basically kind of glittery and a mess. So this would be the one I would recommend. And then the other highlighter I would recommend, and again, I think they would fall for this for the same reasons I did, is the Huda Beauty Nymph. I hate that she uses that. The Flora All Over Highlighter. And the reason I bought this was because I looked at a picture of it. And I said, I need that. It's beautiful in the pan. It's like even in the pan in the lights right now, you can see why I thought it was going to be so good, because it's so reflective and looks just like a it's a rose. Like it's got this gorgeous packaging. It's massive. It feels bougie and luxurious, and the everything's beautiful. It is such a disappointment. You can see it's just, I hate these lights sometimes because I feel like it really makes everything look so beautiful. And like, I get it. Like that's the whole point of the lights, but like in person this is very sort of dry and has that sort of sticky formula where the little bits of like micro glitter they have almost stick to any texture, really emphasizing it more. Also, the flower, I don't know if you can see this, my flower is literally cracking and breaking because I think they probably made it too thin to make the pan bigger, which a lot of brands do that. It's not specifically a Huda thing. And the big like, you know, show-stopping moment of this is that it's a gigantic rose and then the rose starts breaking after barely any use. That is a little disappointing. I think just the fact that it's so dry and also just doesn't give you that real glow. It more just looks like you put stuff on your face and gives you this it's almost like it looks like they're wearing makeup and it's very much like just a strip on their face. That is kind of what this provides you. You would think that it would give you this glorious, beautiful, like golden glow, but it really just gives you a strip of gold on your face that really, really emphasizes texture and doesn't do a whole lot of glowing. So that's that on that.
Hey Dorothea, do you ever stop to think about me?
Next, mascara. I would recommend somebody that I wanted to have clumpy spider lashes instead of beautiful spread apart lashes. Although, remember when they tried to convince us that like clumpy mascara was remember when magazines tried to be like clumpy mascara is the new trend all the beauty gurus were doing because like some designers at a fashion show put it on their models? Okay, no, that's not. I can say a lot of things became trends in makeup that I never thought would become trends, but I can safely, I feel like, say clumpy mascara, like clumps of mascara embedded into your eyelashes. I don't think this will ever become a trend. So, especially in the 3 months that it would take for my enemy to open this, I don't think it'd become the trend. I would recommend the Thick and Fast Soap and Glory mascara. Now, initially, I didn't hate this mascara. However, after, like, the first couple of coats applied were not horrific. However, after you open it and have it kind of open and sitting for like more, I would say probably a week and a half is when I started noticing the turn. This just turns into a goopy, clumpy, transferring mess. And I hate it. I hate it so much. I wore it in a video recently and I thought nobody was going to notice, but somebody literally commented and was like, hey, your mascara was transferring on your eyes the entire video. And I was like, yep, good old Clumpasaurus over here. It really is so clumped together on here because you have to wipe off so much product, and you can see at the end of the wand, there's just so much goop. It's just a very thick mascara. And I think for people who maybe have like bigger lashes, that wouldn't be as big of a problem maybe if your lashes were already really great. But for someone like me who really needs a mascara to emphasize my lashes, this is just so thick and clumpy and transfery and like doesn't dry down easily and messy and just causes a lot of real issues. So this is definitely something I would recommend for my enemy. I love this premise. This is my favorite video I've filmed in a while. This is so fun. Okay, finally, if you want your friend, to have this sort of beautiful, glossy, plumping, gorgeous lip gloss, I would definitely not recommend the About Face lip gloss. This is from Halsey's makeup brand, and frankly, I like most of the stuff I tried from Halsey's makeup brand. There was a couple things I wasn't crazy about, but like I enjoyed most of it. However, the lip gloss was not good. This is in the shade Light Lock, and it's just a milky sort of, maybe I can swatch it so you can actually see what I'm talking about. It's got this milky, almost sort of like green, it's right here. It's almost got this like tinge of green milkiness to it, and it's got a very thick, stringy texture. Like I find with this lip gloss, if I ever do wear it, which has only been twice, it definitely has this, okay, good, you're seeing it. So it has this sort of stringiness and it's very goopy, and I don't like that aspect of it, but the color is what's the most off-putting for me because it goes on this sort of milky white, which again, I think is kind of trendy, but then when it starts to dry down, I don't know if you can see this on my hand, but it gets this like, you can see visible white streaks through it. It gets these like white streaks through the sort of glossy formula. So you have this sort of stringy, clumpy, streaky, glossy mess, which is so weird. I just don't know of a lot of other lip glosses that do that. So I don't know a lot that turn, especially a white shade. I guess I know like red lip glosses that do that, where it'll get a little bit streaky and kind of weird, but I don't know of a lot of white lip glosses that do that. So that's interesting. Anyway, that's it for me. That's makeup I would recommend to my enemy. I hope you guys like this video. I thought it was kind of a fun idea. Let me know down below what you would recommend to your enemy. And yeah, I love you guys so much. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, or just subscribe, or do neither. Honestly, just so happy you're watching me. Thank you so much for being here. My merch, my social media, and everything I am wearing on my face, along with my podcast and vlog channel, will be linked down below, along with links and information about Sexual Assault Awareness Month, which is this month, that you can stay informed and stay involved about. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!